All right, part 2. All right, for these guys, the slope, normal, I'll do the first one and see if you guys can follow the pattern. For the slope is how does it move, right? So if we go in, we say it goes up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2. So I would say up 1 over 2, but that's wrong. And the reason why it's wrong is because it does go up 1 box over here, but it goes from 15, this is what that, up to 20. So it is 1 box, but really it goes up 5. So instead of 1, it actually goes up 5. So we have to pay attention. If they don't go up by every box is worth 1, we have to pay attention to what the numbers actually are. And on the bottom, it doesn't go over, it goes over 2 boxes, but actually it goes from 4 over to 8. So it is 2 boxes, but it travels a distance of 4. So the bottom is 4. So it actually travels up 5 over 4. So our slope is 5/4. Okay, so what's our y-intercept? Those are really easy on these ones. Y-intercept is where the graph starts. On these style graphs, it's really easy. Right there, at 10, plus 10. All right, so the equation, really simple. Y equals our slope goes right here, 5/4 x, and then where do we start? Plus 10. All right, so you should be able to follow that pattern. How does it move? How does it move? Where does it start? Okay, for these ones, I noticed a lot of these problems in the end of the year tests where they'll give you a grid and say, hey, here's a group of x's and y's. Which equation does this work out with? Now, you could be good at doing equations like me and know the equation right away, or you can just plug it in. So let's see. If I use the first equation, y equals 2x plus 4. If I take 0 and plug it in for the x, then that would be 2 times 0 plus 4. 2 times 0 is 0, and plus 4 is 4. So if I plugged in 0 to the first equation, I would get 4. I'll write it up here. 0 to that equation, I would get 4, which is not 0, 2. So it's not that equation. What if I plug in 0 for x here? 3 times 0 is 0, plus 2 is 2. Hey, there's 0, 2. Okay, so that works. What about 2, 6? What if I plug in 2? 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8 for the y. Nope, that doesn't work. It was supposed to be 6. So it's not that equation. So I guess we can just by process of elimination say it's the last one, or we can check it, and it is the last one. But let's see why. If we plug in 0 for x right there, then it's 2 times 0 plus 2, y would equal 2. If we plug in 2, 2 times 2 is 4, plus 2 is 6, and yep, that's what we see in the diagram. And 2 times 4 is 8, plus 2 is 10. So yes, those 3 points do work in that equation. That's why it's the right one. So over here, we can try to plug these in. Plug 1, 2, and 3 in for x into these equations and see, do you get your answer to be 2, 6, and 10? If you do, then it works. All right, number 23. These are all, remember, this one's the 23, 24, and 25 look the same, but they're a little bit different. The 2 is not part of any of the equation. That's just there to throw you off. So the 2 we don't even think about. This is the 10 spot. That's the 100 spot. So this is 2 and 7 100ths. So for all of these, we would start off with 2 and 7 100ths, but we got to change the ones with the repeating line. If it repeats all the way back to the decimal, that's easy. 2 and 7 99ths. We just take 1 away from the bottom. Okay, so that one's a full line. What happens when we have a lazy line that doesn't go all the way back to the decimal? Well, this is the 10 spot. This is the 100 spot. We circle the places that it comes up short. It should have gone over this one too. So we have 2 and 7 100ths. But the change we're going to make is we're going to subtract 0 from the top because that was the number right there. and we're going to subtract 10 from the bottom. So now we have 2, 7 minus 0 is 7, 100 minus 10 is 90ths. So anytime the line doesn't go all the way back to the decimal, we circle that spot and we subtract the top from the top and the bottom from the bottom, and we get 2 and 7 90ths. All right, see if you can follow that pattern over here. This, I'll help you a little bit. This is the tens, the hundreds, the thousands. The tens, the hundreds, the thousands. The tens, the hundreds, the thousands. We don't pay attention to the 3. That's just the big number. This one should be easy. The second one, 27, should be easy because you just subtract 1. And the third one is going to be the little hardest one. The line should have went back and covered those, but it didn't. So can you figure out the new fraction? All right, finally, y equals 3x, y equals 10x minus 14. To solve this system of equations, if we know y is the same thing as 3x, then we can plug in 3x for y and do the same equation. We move the 10x over and make it minus 10x. And we get negative 7x equals negative 14. You can solve it from there. Solve for the x and then plug this. You got to plug whatever answer you get for x, plug it up in here for y to figure out what y is. Let's see. For this one, we know y is the same thing as 2x plus 1. So over here, I'm going to take y out and put in 2x plus 1. But everything else is going to be the same. So I got to plug in the 3 in front of the y, the plus 4x equals 23. So now I got to do my distribution. 3 times 2x is 6x. 3 times 1 is plus 3. And then plus 4x equals 23. When I combine those, I get 10x plus 3 equals 23. All right, knowing that, can you solve? Can you solve what x is? And then once you figure out what x is, plug it back in over here to figure out what y is. You got to figure it on both. All right, the reason why this one, 31, is hard is because neither of those equations tells you what y or x is. So you can actually do this. This is an advanced move, and I've seen this on the test. There will be one question on the test that is like this. You have to know, okay, well, I need, like over here, this one tells me exactly what y is. Y equals. Over here, this one tells me exactly what y is. Y equals. We don't have anything like that over here. So let's make one. If we take this negative 2x and put it over there, we get y equals 5 plus 2x. We just took the 2x and put it on the other side. Now we do know what y equals. Y equals 5 plus 2x. So over here, I can take out y and plug in 5 plus 2x. So that's a pretty hard step where you have to like kind of rearrange at the beginning to give you a y equals. That's kind of tough. Let's see, 5 plus 2x plus x equals 14. 5 plus 3x equals 14. Can you solve for x? And then when you're done, plug back into there, and you should be able to get what y is. All right, good luck.